You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
Percent of the targets to Shakir completed. This is behind Cooper, who brought it in, pitched it back to Allen, who's going to go to the goal line and get in. No! Spectacular touchdown!
Oh my goodness! It is showtime in Buffalo. Holy
Just a little storm. We're 27 inches or so. Doesn't matter. You're not beating Buffalo in a night like that. What a night for Josh Allen. Wow. More check marks for MVP for Josh Allen. He has been outstanding. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for the long Thanksgiving holiday weekend. It's Monday. There is so much to dissect and analyze from when we last left you on Wednesday morning after that great interview with Rico Petrocelli. We went late. It must have been about 10:15 or 10:20, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And since then, absolutely unbelievable weekend, a long holiday weekend of college football and the NFL. Absolutely amazing. We are going to get to it all, or most of it anyway, and break it all down as best we can. Absolutely incredible. Man, it started on Thursday, Matt Eberflus, and then Friday, the Bears stupidly let him go to a press conference, do his daily press conference on Friday at 10 a.m. And then, got around lunchtime, Angel, and they said, "Oh, you're fired." So that was classless by the Bears. We'll get to all that. And then the games just were unbelievable. And then you get to the college slate on, some Thursday, but mostly Friday and Saturday. Unbelievable games. Ohio State getting upset big time by Michigan, by Hurricanes, and that debacle in Syracuse at the end. And so much more. The college football playoff rankings, which come out tomorrow night, going to give you all sorts of theories about that. The AP and coaches polls are out now, but that doesn't really mean anything. Yesterday, Azeez Al-Shire with that really horrible cheap shot on Trevor Lawrence that's going to knock him out of the game for God only knows how long. The Christian McCaffrey injury last night as well in the game against the Buffalo Bills, in the game which, of course, the Bills won 35-10 rather easily. My Patriots losing another heartbreaker, 25-24 at home, in a game that was, 2 of 6 in the red zone, only touchdowns twice out of 6 in the red zone. Really, really deserved to win that game for a lot of reasons. But once again, I called it the flush yesterday at my friend's house watching the game, the flush, which means all 5, really was a royal, all 4 offensive linemen got called for a penalty at one point in the game. All of them for the Patriots, either false start or mostly holding yesterday. But we'll get to all of that. Angels, Eagles continue to do unbelievable things. That was a great win yesterday on the road against a very good Baltimore team. And the Eagles have simply made more plays. Saquon Barkley continues to impress and make it also a case for being MVP. I think he and Josh Allen right now are about neck and neck. It's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens. So much to talk about. This stupid, idiotic, immature crap that is going on in college football with this planting of the flag nonsense. I don't know what you're trying to prove. All happened on road victories. The 3 main runs, I think there were like 6 or 7 throughout the weekend. The 3 main ones, obviously, was Ohio State, Michigan. When you have to have police use fucking pepper spray, come on. I mean, it was ridiculous. The Florida State game and the NC State, North Carolina game, those are the 3 biggies. I mean, this stuff about planting flags on other people's in the middle of the field. What are you trying? Get off the field. You won. You beat your rival on the road. Get the hell off the field. Celebrate with your fans in the stands if you want a little bit. But this absolute immature crap, this nonsense about planting flags and then getting into fisticuffs where it looks, all out brawl. I mean, just absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And there should be repercussions. I mean, there were repercussions as far as fines go. But I've just had it because it leaves such a sour taste in your mouth. First of all, it's boring. You're not proving anything to me. What does that make you a bigger man because you planted a flag pole in somebody's at midfield? Does that make you more of a man? Or you already made your statement. You beat your rival. You beat your rival on the road. That's enough. That's enough. And all three of them. So Michigan, Florida, and NC State. People throwing stuff. It's just so stupid. You're taking away from what were three, great games. Well, not so much Florida State, but the other two were very good. Anyway, with all that, a lot more positive stuff to talk about in the NFL, in college football, little NBA and NHL stuff to tell you about as well. We're going to have Jay Flannelly join me from Ann Arbor at the top of the hour. Probably he's going to be on because he was in the middle of that yesterday. He's up in Ann Arbor, so we get a better feel of what's going on. He was ecstatic when the Wolverines won. They were one of my pigskin picks, by the way. 7-3. I had a really good week. My pigskin picks in college, my 10 picks went 7-3. If Army had not, they won, but they lost by a point there. But 7-3 in college, 9-6 going into tonight in the NFL against the spread. 9-6. So that is not bad. A pretty good week for me. 16-9 overall in my picks, including my best bet one with Green Bay -3. I told you there's no way in hell that Wild Thing and the Miami Dolphins were going to win at Green Bay. That was maybe could have been a lock of the decade. Maybe the millennium. Maybe the lock of 2 decades. And my underdog of the week won with South Carolina in the end, winning outright at +2.5 at Clemson, which is going to throw possibly throw a bit of a monkey wrench into this whole thing. Well, actually not. The big thing in college football, 2 big things. One is when the playoff rankings come out tomorrow night. For me, where is Miami going to be? I think they're going to be either 11 or a 12 seed. Ms. Denich said right now she has them as an 11-5 matchup against Notre Dame. I've seen CBS Sportsline. They have a 12-5 matchup right now with the Canes. We'll have to play at Texas. But we shall see. Now, I don't believe Notre Dame can have a home game. I know they couldn't have a home game in the first 4 if they finished in the first. They can't be seeded because they're not in a conference. And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if Notre Dame can have a home game. Because if that stood where it possibly could be tomorrow, the 11-5 matchup between Notre Dame and Miami, that would be something. However, the only way Miami gets to that point, and they may get there tomorrow night, you may see them, but if Clemson beats SMU, all bets are off. All bets are off. They're going to have a really, really hard time making it. So if you're a Miami Hurricane fan, you better be rooting for SMU coming up on Saturday night in the ACC Championship. After Mario Cristobal decided not to go for a touchdown, even though the defense couldn't stop a bloody nose, in the second half of that game after being up 21-0, and then uses the excuse, or one of them afterwards is saying, well, analytics said to go for it. But analytics doesn't factor in heart and soul and flow of the game, as I've stated on social media the last couple of days. Fuck analytics when it comes to that. Everybody on the planet knew you weren't going to get the ball back. You weren't going to make a stop because you couldn't make a stop. I remember many years ago, Bill Belichick went for it on like 4th and 2 from his own, whatever it was, own 21 in a big game with the Colts in Indianapolis. Came up just a hair short. Why? And he got criticized for it from a lot of people. It's because the Patriots defense on that night wasn't stopping anybody. And that's why he did it. And that's just one example I can think of. But anyway, we're going to get to all of it and a whole lot more. I just hate hearing that excuse about analytics. Come on, Mario. You're smarter than that. Look at the flow of the game. Plus, you've been a great 4th down team, one of the best in the country all year. You're the best 3rd down team in the country offensively, but you're one of the best 4th down teams as well. And, I know the penalty was stupid. Jacoby George was a stupid-ass penalty in that. They also had a really bad run taken away by, I thought, was a bogus penalty call on the Hurricanes. But nevertheless, it should not have come down. They shouldn't have lost that game. They were up 21-0. put the pedal to the metal and blow them out. And instead, you let them back in the game. They've been doing it all year. And now you're basically going to have to wait and see. Things may look okay tomorrow night when the seedings come out. They may be in there as an 11 or a 12. I think they will be. But that doesn't mean, that doesn't mean that when it's all said and done, that they're going to make it. If SMU wins, beats Clemson, I think they will. If they don't, they're going to have to. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens as a 2-loss Miami team get in over, say, a 3-loss Alabama team. There's all sorts of debate. You can make cases. Such gray area. In a lot of ways, this is fun for me because I enjoy the chaos. Obviously, I'd like to see the Hurricanes have won, but we'll see. The Patriots continue to shoot themselves in the foot. The Eagles continue to roll. Tampa Bay, remember they were 4-6. I told you they're going to win outright. Took a little bit yesterday, but they got it done. The Justin Tucker, what's going on with him in Baltimore? Missed 3 field goals yesterday and an extra point, right? I mean, just unbelievable what's going on with him and the Baltimore Ravens. And we'll get to all of that, but mostly praise the Philadelphia Eagles for a great road win. So much to talk about in college football and the NFL, so little time. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we say good morning to Angel Martinez. Good morning, Angel. Buenos dias, amigo. It's cold. It's chilly. It's not even 50 degrees here in Fort Myers. As Vince Lombardi would say, what the hell's going on out there?
Exactly. Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Senor. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully everyone had a nice, safe, traveled holiday out there with their families and friends for Thanksgiving. As Jerry from Rhode Island already states that Mayo and Van Pelt have to go.
It's not going to happen until the end of the year. It ain't going to happen until the end of the year. It's Van Pelt. I go back and forth with him because part of the problem has been the offensive line, and that's not his fault per se with all the penalties and everything. Look, yesterday I think they called a decent game. It's not his fault. They get a couple of plays. I shouldn't say it's not his fault. He is partially to blame. You get in the red zone 6 times and only get 2 touchdowns because they scored in the first half like on every possession except for 1, but a lot of field goals. And then you had the Hunter Henry, the interception that Drake May threw was not his fault. Hunter Henry had it in his hands on the ground, and it was a fluky freaking bounce. It's the kind of bad luck that happens, buzzer's luck, as the late great Jimmy Williams used to say. When things aren't going well, and the teams like the Patriots don't get those kind of breaks. They don't. It's not going to happen. I'm not crying about it or anything. It's just they have had no luck this year whatsoever. There's 4 or 5 games this year that have come down to one play, like a lot of other teams, but particularly with this one, you can point out like 5 different plays, 5 different games that all would have resulted in wins. Some ugly. But yesterday, when you rushed the ball like they did, they were dominating the line of scrimmage. They were blasting Indianapolis all over the place. But you had that fumble. The interception on the goal line was terrible. Some of the play calling, down the stretch, I did not agree with, especially on first down. So anyway, we'll get to all of that. Angels-Eagles had a great win yesterday in Baltimore. And anyway, Angel, so hope you had a great Thanksgiving with your family. You and the Dynamic Debbie popped over for a little mini visit on Friday, which was nice to see you guys again. And it was good. Hope you had a nice Thanksgiving and safe travels back to Tampa. But it's a tad chilly this morning here in Southwest Florida.
Well, it's the same way up here in Tampa. I woke up this morning at dark 30 at 39 degrees. It's up to 42, so it feels like a warm front. But yeah, it's chillier than the usual here in this area, although we did get the Christmas lights out, so that's good, which my wife does an amazing job on that behalf, putting them out and putting out the decor. But no, it was good. It was a good time. Mom had so much food that I think she could have probably had fed like 10 shelters at the amount of food that she ended up making. It was only like, 6 of us maybe at max, but that's my mom. That's what she does. God bless her. But yeah, it was good. The travels were good. It was a couple of times where we ended up running into some normal traffic on 75, nothing unusual, but overall it was really good. Just now a busy week coming up for men and women's basketball for USF. They're back in action tomorrow and Thursday. And then you have obviously USF who end up getting almost rolled by Rice, but they tried to come back at the very end. It just came back just a little bit too late. So either way, not bad.
Oh, who's this? I don't have my glasses on. Whoever that is, FLT Bar
Yeah.
says hitting a $5 12-team parlay, 1,200 Tampa and Indy. Thank you. Yeah, that 2-point conversion was big. It sounds like you obviously bet the money line because you didn't because the Patriots covered that game. I got it at +3, but it went down to 2.5, and even 1.5. I think maybe by kickoff, but too much. So congratulations, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
See, if I would have tried the same thing, I would have lost, guaranteed.
Anywho, where's my board? Hang on.
Well,
Hang on a second.
sure.
Talk amongst
Something
yourself.
has disappeared from inside the studio. Listen, Eagles, yes, they did an absolute fantastic job against the Ravens. It was good, definitely. And I'm talking about it at Martinez Company here at 10 this morning from 10 and 12. But man, it was a good win overall for the Eagles. I'm hoping they'll be just fine. But when you go into an 8-game winning streak, it's going to be something else. But here's Pete.
All right. Thanks for checking us out. Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Network video platform. As always, Monday through Friday, usually 7 to 10 a.m. Following me on Twitter, X at PShep326, on Facebook, SR1029 The Game, SR1029thegame.com, Ion TV, CSN Florida, Rumble, Kick, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, and call or text the show as always, 727-858-6650. All right. We're going to get to as many highlights as we can. And one of the big stories of the day, obviously, Aziz Al-Shire on the hit on Trevor Lawrence. We've got that video for you and reaction after from Gronk in the Fox studios, which is really interesting. But let me begin with my Patriots and get this out of the way. Another just really heartbreaking, frustrating loss for New England yesterday as they lose 25-24. But here are some of the highlights from CBS.
Chance to get to the second level and use their athleticism.
May puts a man under it. It's caught. Hooper, touchdown.
Yeah, 16-yard pass to Mr. Hooper, and that made from Drake May in the second quarter, and it was 16-14 New England in that game. But as everybody knows, it was back and forth. The Patriots, as I said, just 2 of 6 in the damn red zone for only 2 touchdowns and 6 trips to the red zone, lots of field goals. And then right at the end, this happened.
Watch them pick for Taylor to the flat.
Richardson looking. Richardson, end zone. It is caught for the Indianapolis touchdown. Alec Pierce able to squeeze it.
It was 24-23 Patriots, and Steichen decides he is going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Going for 2 in the lead. Richardson pulls it back. Richardson bangs it in. And the Indianapolis Colts have...
Yep, they take the 25-24 lead. There was still 12 seconds to go, and the Patriots did a good job of getting it to midfield. Sly had a chance, a 68-yarder, would have been an NFL record, kicked it right down the middle, just about 6 feet short. If it had been a 66-yarder, I think it would have doinked or gone over the bar, and it would have been a miraculous finish for the Patriots with 12 seconds left and a couple of timeouts, but it was not meant to be. After the game, here's what Gerard Mayo had to say.
Obviously a tough game. I just told the guys, again, I know I sound redundant, like we're doing a lot of things that are good. We just need to be more consistent. I would say penalties, and look, it's about us. Penalties continue to show up, both operational and post-snap, which we got to do a better job of. I'd also say, just our red area in general, our red area offense, I think we were 1 for 6. Our red area defense, we weren't able to stop them there. And that's really the game. You talk about on special teams, the missed field goal. Thought we handled the situations the right way, the way that we wanted to. And we gave ourselves a chance to win. Gave ourselves a chance to win at the end.
Yeah, the missed field goal was big with Sly. There was a botched snap there. The hold was wrong. He missed it for him like a chip shot. He's an excellent kicker. That was huge in the game. Afterwards, Shane Steichen on Anthony Richardson's improvement.
Second time in 3 weeks he's done one of these. I mean,
What has he shown you just in his growth?
It's huge growth. Anytime you got a young player that can lead your team down, to a touchdown, game-winning touchdown in this league. It comes down to a lot of those in this league, and that's huge growth. It's huge growth. It's huge confidence for him. It's huge confidence for our team that he can get those things done. Fourth down situations, got to have it. Put the ball in his hands again on some outside zone stuff. Just a phenomenal effort by him today.
I mean, I guess 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was excellent on rushing the football for him as well. But it really came down to, he had 48 yards on 9 carries. Patriots rushed for over 200 yards. Any NFL team that rushes for over 200 yards, you should win the game. It's that simple. It's so gosh darn frustrating to see this team compete in week after week. The Miami game, not so much a couple weeks ago, but that's neither here nor there right now. Stevenson, 73 yards rushing. Gibson was excellent, 62 yards. Drake May had a couple of great scrambles, including that 41-yarder. He rushed for 59 yards. Hunter Henry led the way once again for the Pats, 75 yards and 7 catches, 9 targets right there. But they got to commit. They got to be able to finish in the red zone. You get there 6 times and only get 2 touchdowns. That's a problem. That is on some of the play calling by Alex Van Pelt. Sometimes the Patriots shoot themselves in the foot with penalties and back up 1st and goals from the 5, and all of a sudden it's 1st and goal from the 15, and then another penalty, and all of a sudden then it's 2nd and then it ends up being 2nd and 9, and then another penalty, and it's 3rd and 15 or 3rd and 4, whatever it is. It seems that's been the way it's gone all year long. Again, season high 200 yards rushing, 2 of 6 trips to the red zone, only 2 touchdowns during that time. And it's really a shame. I really thought when Sly hit that ball at the end of the game, it looked like it was going through. It was dead on, right down the middle. It just a tad short. And the Patriots end up losing the game. The Patriots have a bye week next week. Then they will be at Arizona on the 15th. The Colts have a bye week as well. Then they're at Denver on the 15th. I thought we'd done all this bye week stuff. But apparently not. Apparently not.
Seems
All
so
right.
late.
Yeah. What's that, Angel?
Because it seems super late for a bye week.
Yep, but it is. All right, let's get to one of the more controversial games of the day. The Houston Texans, I believe, won for the 8th time in a row on the road in Jacksonville. But it was a costly game and a very, very cheap hit. Angel, if we could scroll down on my, it's the first one right down underneath the show. In case you missed it yesterday, here is the hit from Azeez Al-Shaair on Trevor Lawrence.
No, there's no doubt that Trevor represents them well. And oh my, that'll be Al-Shaair who's flagged for the big hit on the slide, and that's going to start a little bit of a scrum afterwards as the Jaguars come in to protect their QB. No, there's no doubt that Trevor represents.
And if we scroll down again, a couple more to awful announcing, and Michael Strahan on Alice and Gronk and the guys on Fox talking about this play.
But Gronk, I want to talk about this hit, Azeez Al-Shaair on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, well, Trevor Lawrence, it was kind of like a normal routine play. He was rolling out to his blind side. No one was open, so he decided to tuck the ball and go for a running. He's rolling here, and it's clear and obvious that Trevor Lawrence is going to slide. But Azeez Al-Shaair, he did something that he shouldn't have done. He's definitely going to have second thoughts about this, sitting in the locker room because he got ejected from the game. He kind of uses that elbow brace that he has, and he slingshots himself right into Trevor Lawrence's head and knocks him out, makes him go stiff, which you never want to see. But it's a good thing that you saw Trevor Lawrence getting carted off. He was sitting up, and he looked like he was with it. So that was good to see that on Trevor Lawrence's side.
My only protection as a quarterback is my offensive lineman in the pocket, and when I get out, sliding feet first. Everybody, you know it. Everybody, when I go feet first, leave me alone. I'm down.
Al-Shaair, I think he threw himself out the game. I personally think he did that because he realized if he had stayed in that game,
He was not going to be protected for that game because what he did, everybody knows as a defensive player, you don't do that. They're just getting Trevor Lawrence back, out 2 games with a shoulder injury. You hate to see that happen to him on something that's just so unnecessary. Regardless of offense or defense or how you feel, you do protect your player. You protect your guys. We have a lot of respect for each other out there on the field, even when you're competing.
The only issue you have, and not particularly with this play, this is clear and simple. It's a cheap shot. But when a quarterback typically, at times, when the quarterback is kind of in between, going to slide, I'm not going to slide, and that defender's not sure what to do. This was clearly a slide. It's indefensible.
Yeah, this wasn't even close. Yeah. When you see him, and he had slid way ahead of time. All right, another.
All right, and then after the game, here's Doug Peterson talking about it.
Doug, can you update us on Trevor's condition, and were you able to talk to him at all post-game?
Yeah, I haven't talked to the docs yet. I did see him at halftime. You know, he was moving around and everything, and we'll be fine. He'll obviously go into the protocol, but I haven't talked to him here after the game yet.
You've obviously been in this league a long time as a player and a coach. Where does that hit that he took rank for you in terms of dirty hits?
Well, look, it's a play that nobody wants to see in our league, obviously. Because you see what happens, after the fact, and it just escalates. And I've got a lot of respect for Coach Ryans. And, I mean, I know he doesn't coach his team that way. We don't coach our team that way. And it's unfortunate. It really is. It's unfortunate, and I'm just glad that, Trevor's going to be fine. He'll obviously be in the protocol, but, it's just an unfortunate play.
C.J. Stroud also talked about the Trevor Lawrence injury.
All right, C.J. Stroud, I talked to D'Amico Ryans at halftime, and we talked about everything that went on earlier, and he said that does not represent us. I'm asking you this because you're wearing a C on your chest. How you feel about the Aziz hit, the fights, and just the optics of all of it today?
Yeah, first, I always got to give glory and praise to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this great opportunity playing in the NFL, have an opportunity to play against the Jaguars team and come out to Jacksonville with safe travels, so glory goes to God. But, it was tough, man, to see Trev go out like that. And, Aziz, I don't think that's his intent. But, it sucks to see a player ever go down. I'm always trying to pray over both teams whenever, we take a field. Everybody wants to leave the field healthy. So, man, prayers go to Trev. And really, man, I hope Aziz, learns from it. But, I'm still rocking with my brother. I know he didn't mean it. He didn't intend to do that.
Stop it.
He's got to be more careful.
Thank you. And let me ask you about football. I know there's some things you really like today, and I know some things you won't be thrilled with, but I also know you are finally at your long-awaited bye. So before you take your break, how you feel about this team as you also get ready for a really big stretch run?
Yeah, we got 4 left after this bye. We got to take this time to really rest, recover, get your mind off the game for a little bit. And, it's on really December's playoff ball going into January. So we put ourselves in a good position. So now we got to just keep going. But, we know we haven't played our best ball yet. But, today was a step in the right direction. And, we're excited to go into this playoff atmosphere going to some of these great teams that we're going to play, And, we're confident in ourselves knowing that we can do anything that through Christ who strengthens us. So, we're excited for that.
Thank you for the conversation. Congratulations on the win. And, boy, get some rest this week.
Man, it's been a long time coming. Yeah. Thank you. God bless. Have a good one. Thank you.
I'm going to set the record straight right now, okay? And all you religious numbnuts fanatics out there, I don't give a shit if you get offended or not, okay? I love the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's my God, okay? He's a fan of everybody. Can we set the record straight that JC is a fan of everybody? This stuff about... I swear to God, if I was interviewing him, and I keep hearing, God just, I'd be like, do you think Trevor Lawrence is saying that? That thank God Jesus Christ was in my corner today. Again, the losing team, you never hear about the Lord. Very, 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 very rarely do you hear about the Lord. And whatever God you believe in, okay, wherever you are around the country, around the world, I'm sure he's a fan of everybody. God's a fan of everybody. It's just that he didn't make Houston win. Nor did he make, Aziz Al-Shire make that hit. It's free will. That's what we have here, free will. God did not care who wins or loses. He doesn't. I don't know where this stuff comes from, because nobody in the Jacksonville locker room was talking about God after that hit, particularly after Aziz Al-Shire made that hit. They're saying, God damn it. That's what they're saying. That's what most of the guys are saying on that. They want to kill the guy. Where's the Lord there? Where's the Lord going to interfere? Praise be to God, because we got a bench clearing brawl because your buddy just had a cheap ass hit on Trevor Lawrence. Enough about God in the NFL and around in college sports. It's like everywhere. It's so ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's a fan of everybody. He is a fan of everybody. He didn't make your team win or he didn't make your team lose. He doesn't cause concussions, and he's not there in the blue tent in concussion protocol. He's not there. He's everywhere, but you know what I'm saying? He's not like it's like the Great Gazoo. Like he doesn't just pop up and go, you shall be healed. It doesn't work that way. Dumb. Anyway.
Oh boy.
So tired of and even on College Game Day, how many Jesus signs did we see? God Almighty! It's like I get it. Look, I love the baby Jesus as much as anybody. My religion, I do, but I'm not going to sit there, especially in sports, and say that he's responsible for wins or losses. So thank God he was there. Yeah, thank God he's there in the winning school for the winning team. He's never there for the losing team. Never. Show me a clip of somebody who lost a big game lately, or any game, in the losing locker room that says, praise God. No matter what God whatever it is. It doesn't matter. If it's JC, Allah, I don't care. Just show me. Somebody come up with something. I want to hear it. It doesn't happen. Anyway, all right, that's my little religious take on life in the NFL and in college football. Enough already. Unless you can show me the other side in the visiting locker room where people are saying, praise the Lord. Nobody is. They're saying the opposite. We're cursed. It was a satanic ritual, Satan wanted us to lose.
Yeah, no one ever says that one. But
nobody ever says that.
No.
It was God's will. Do you ever hear a player in the losing locker room say, oh, it's God's will? Ever? Has ever happened?
Nope.
Ever in any sport?
Not even during the Super Bowl. Just wasn't there.
All right, quick break. When we come back, we're going to get to Angels. Tim had some good text, too. I'll get to your text, Tim, in a second. But we'll get to Angels, Philadelphia Eagles, and some other good games yesterday. The highlights of the Buffalo game as well last night in the blizzard. Amazing stuff from them. Unfortunately, Christian McCaffrey is out with a PCL injury, which we have that video as well. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here on a Monday, December 2nd on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? Jim and the Beef Guy here. Fort Myers, we answered your call. We're pumped to announce the opening of our second location. It's on 41 just north of the Edison Mall. And guys, nothing's changed here. The beef, the sausage, the breaded steak, our Maxwell Polish. Now serving you in 2 locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. And don't forget, if you're having a party, check out our catering menu. Hey guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced Jardiniere.
Bill Castanetti Sports World in Saugus, Massachusetts is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Last month, you might remember Tim Thomas, legendary Bruins goalie, returned on October 5th. What a turnout it was. And now a new event coming up. On Saturday, November 30th, it's Willie O'Ree. Yes, the original Jackie Robinson of the National Hockey League. He'll be signing autographs to the public, $25 each. There'll be photos, pucks, and cards available. Phone orders are welcome. Just call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there. Hey, everybody. It's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Ion Tampa Bay is the latest news, weather, and traffic for Pinellas, Pasco, Ellsboro, Hernando, and surrounding communities. Stay connected on X, Facebook, and their website, iontp.com. Ion Tampa Bay keeps you informed on breaking news as it happens. Southwest Florida's newest game in town. Sports Radio 102.9, the game powered by Ion Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home. Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill? Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you.
Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
That would mean you have a chance of a 1-on-1 if he comes down with Brown.
First down. Saquon. Oh, here he goes. Barkley at the 10, the 5, and the touchdown.
Jim Nantz, Tom Brady with the call yesterday at CBS. What a day for Saquon Barkley. Typical, man. It's got to be him and Josh Allen now neck and neck for MVP. He was awesome again yesterday. Took a little while for him to break free, but outstanding game for Saquon Barkley. 107 yards, rushed for a touchdown on 23 carries, and also had 2 catches for 10 yards as well. And the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Baltimore Ravens on the road 24-19. They've won 8 straight, and they are really, really looking good. And it's another one of those games where you don't have to look back on the whole and say, what did Nick Sirianni, what was he thinking? It's like 4 games in a row now where you haven't had to say that. So that's really good. Now, Justin Tucker, something is not right with him. Obviously, 3 more missed field goals. He did make one at 51, but he missed 3 other ones, and he missed an extra point as well. So that's 10 points right there. Not that it would have, and I'm not saying had he made all those that the Ravens would have won 29, to 24, because it doesn't work that way. It just you don't know what Philadelphia would have done in other circumstances, but that is a hell of a win. Senor Martinez by your Eagles on the road. You got to be, maybe it's one of the most impressive ones of the year. You can't say this stuff about them not beating good teams anymore or anything like that. They just beat a really, really good Baltimore Ravens team, and they did it on the road. Jalen Hurts only had to throw the ball 19 times, but was pretty average, 11 of 19, 118 yards, a touchdown. Great managed game. And the Eagles played, on the whole, really good defense as well. So you got to be impressed with that one, Angel. That was pretty good yesterday by your boys.
No, it was good. Again, I keep mentioning that I don't want to get on the hype train for sure, but 8 in a row now, this is where it gets worrisome because you can get hot at the right time. But we've also seen in the NFL that you end up winning 8 in a row. You got about 4 games left, and then things go awry. So I'm just hoping, and not being negative, but I'm just hoping they continue just play at least all around. The way they did yesterday was kind of a little bit of a slow start once again. The second half, they finally got the RPO going a little bit better. You're going against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, which is easy, but Jalen Hurts looked better. The team overall looked better. A couple guys banged up once again, so we're short on defense, but they stepped up as they should. And I mentioned it many times. Next man up mentality, and that's what Eagles had yesterday, and they look good overall. So yeah, I'm happy with the win.
And it was one of those number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense, meaning Baltimore number 1 offense and Philly's number 1 defense. It was 9-0 earlier. I don't know how Mark Andrews caught that touchdown pass early on. Yeah. He just stuck his hands up in the bulk. It was almost like you stopped and boop. But, they go up 9-0. The extra point was missed. But the second quarter was all Eagles. They started to really turn it on. Eagles, by the way, host Carolina next Sunday. That should be a win. Carolina's playing some tough ball lately. And the Ravens are on a bye week. Then they take on the Giants. But here's more after the game. Here's Saquon Barkley. Shout out to Kellen Moore, the OC.
Well, Saquon, we talked about the battle of the backs. You come out here over 100-plus yards against this number 1 rush defense. How did you get it done, and how much was there a little extra motivation coming into today?
I got to give credit to those guys over there. They're a really good defense. They made it tough on us, but shout out to Kellen. They stuck with the run. The offensive line kept harping to them, and they kept leaning on them, and we got things popping. But it was a fun game. It was a tough game. We knew it was going to be it wasn't going to be an easy task, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is going to win, and we got that.
I'm sure you heard those MVP chants, but 8 straight win for this Eagles team. What is working so well right now?
Just trusting each other.
Angels faith.
No matter what, whatever the score is, whatever the situation is, we believe in each other. We believe we're going to win the game. So we've got to continue to do that, get back to film, get back to the facility, watch film, and improve and get better.
Enjoy the win. Thanks.
Thank you.
Praise Angel. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson after the game, he wasn't too happy.
We need to be more consistent. Just a play at a time. If something happened and it's been situations in games where we'll have our first play is good, but it's a penalty. It's 1st and 20. We still get back on track and start making positive things happen. We need to just get to that situation and don't try to blame things on one play. You know, a game is not won off one play early in the game. Probably later in the game it probably is, but early in the game, we just fix that and just move on. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, he also said, and I'm trying to find the cut, Angel, but we don't have it here. But early on in the press conference, he said, my mom cussed me out and told me I didn't do this right or that right or everything else. He's like, they were sitting on Sports Center this morning. It's like, man, you're pissed and your mom cusses you out. You got no chance. No chance. Oh, man. Still a hell of a win. Somebody's text by Tim. I'll get to him in a second. I'll say, how about those Georgia Bulldogs playoff bound, even if they lose to Texas, which won't happen. Sorry, Matthew McConaughey. I'll address that in a second. Then he talked about the Trevor Lawrence, the Aziz Al-Shire hit on Trevor. Bad hit, reminds you of the Flacco hit, really bad look, suspension and apology in order. Well, I'm sure he'll give some kind of backwards apology and maybe the team makes him. Suspension or fine, yeah.
Yeah.
I think both sides, again, as we saw in college over the weekend with these silly brawls. Wild Pete on the pulpit with a great kazoo reference, dum-dum.
Now, I do think Tim is right on this one because I do remember hearing something about this way in the past.
I think I remember somebody back in the day saying the Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row because God hates the Buffalo Bills. Hey, do you know how many people, Tim, over my lifetime, before the Red Sox won it in 2004, and all the crazy ways they lost in the postseason, particularly to the Yankees, do you know how many people, with curses and I remember Maya Menino. I think it was 04 or 03.
Big idiot.
He brought, I think a couple of nuns and a priest outside of Fenway. It had some sort of ritual. And it ended with like chocolate chip cookies or something. I can't remember what it was, but we made fun of it it was just funny.
You got to be one of the dumbest mayors, I'm sorry, ever in history.
He was a great mayor. No, he was a great mayor. He didn't speak. I mean, he was funny when you had to know the guy a little bit, Angel. He did a lot of good things for the city. He really did. He's one of the best mayors they ever had. You ask anybody. He may have, his nickname was Mumbles Menino, because of how but you know what? He played along with it a lot of times. I mean, we had him on the show many times for this, that, or the other thing, and he was on other parts of WEI in its heyday. He may have sounded mumblish, but he did a lot of good things for the city. Trust me. And he's passed away now, but considering what they have now.
Well, I don't think obviously he was, and the funny part, because you said the mumbles, that's what I'm talking about, the big dope part of it. But no, you got to figure he must have done a good enough job, because how many times did he get reelected?
Oh, many,
right?
Many times, many monies, as they say in Seinfeld. Okay, let's make fun of the Jets. This was fun. They could have jumped out to a 30-0 lead, and they still would have lost this game. There's no question about it. Let's see. Let's pick it up here. With the Jets. Things are looking good.
Weird snaps today. Little shovel pass to Isaiah Davis, and Davis, the rookie, is into the end zone. Just his 7th career offensive snap, and the 5th-round pick out of South Dakota State has his first NFL touchdown. And after the D. Williams fumble on the kick return, Rodgers, Davis, and the Jets take advantage.
Well, watch Aaron Rodgers' eyes. He's going to look to the left and pump this little bubble right here. That's the window dressing. Then they get 2 blockers right in front to hit that shovel pass on the move, and that's what you want from Davis, a rookie. Give him an easy one and a walk-in.
Thanks to Fox right there. And then a little bit later on, the Jets took a 21-7 lead. Where the hell is the damn cut? Oh, here it is. Here, 21-7 lead on this.
So after the Seahawk touchdown, Myers boots it away, and here is the former All-Pro kick returner for Minnesota, making his Jet debut, Kane Wanu. He's already housed 3 of them in his career. He's going to get a block, and welcome to the Jets with a big-time return for a touchdown.
It was 21-7 Jets, right? All good, right? No, it's not.
Seahawks load the line and bring pressure. Rodgers has it picked off by Leonard Williams. Just the second interception of the Big Cat's career. And is he going to take it to the house?
Yes.
His old house. He sure is. A pick six. And he flips the game on a huge play.
Well, this is cover zero, Adam. No safety in the middle of the field, and you're going to see Leonard Williams pop out. That's his job. When you bring pressure like that, you have to have underneath defenders. He's taking a page out of J.J. Watt's book, popping out, picking off the ball, and taking it to the house. What a momentum swing.
It certainly was, but it didn't end there. Here's a game-winning score.
Lucky to get away with an incompletion.
Charbonnet powers through. Charbonnet scores, and the Seahawks have the lead with 5.5 minutes remaining.
Well, watch Laumea right here. Understand that he's got to collect this defensive lineman cutting across his face right there. That's Kinlaw. That's not an easy block for him. But they're going to get a penalty for an excessive celebration. I think there might be two.
It doesn't matter. Here's Leonard Williams on his dominant performance.
Everything is designed. Everything that you read is designed.
Well, Big Cat with a big-time performance. I know you told me you were in the zone last week, but I don't know what you described, what you did today.
Exactly.
2 sacks at a critical time on that final drive for the Jets. What got into you today?
Honestly, I feel like I still had a chip on my shoulder from not getting Defensive Player of the Week last week. A lot of coaches, family members, friends were telling me, if they didn't give it to you, just go out there and make sure they give it to you this week. And I feel like I was just playing with a chip on my shoulder.
Well, you one-upped yourself with a 92-yard pick six.
That's crazy.
So walk me through it, and how are you able to finish it off?
My legs were still feeling that, to be honest. But it was a good call by Mike. We have a call where I'm supposed to rush the touch by the guard's eyes for a little bit, and I just pop out for that little short slant. And I just seen the ball coming. I had long enough arms to just reach out and poke the ball. And luckily, the ball bounced straight up in the air and gave me time to catch it.
Yeah, boom. It was absolutely a fantastic 6'5", 310 big fella. And the best part is he used to play for the Jets. Here's Aaron Rodgers with his weekly excuse.
This is all new to you, and I'm not saying it's you, but do you ever think about that? Maybe you won't be finishing the season on the field, that Jeff or somebody else might be saying, let's make a quarterback change?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll figure it out when we have those conversations. But
has that ever been a situation you...
Yeah, well, like I said, it just should have been done a long time ago. And if it's not done this week, Travis, if he doesn't play, kid from Florida State should be playing this week. It's absolutely ridiculous. Here's Mike McDonald on the win versus the Jets.
All right. Man, what a crazy game. I think that's like the first time ever that ever happened in the NFL, like the whole series of events in the first half. But our guys are resilient. We didn't bat an eye. We stayed the course. I mean, there's some crazy sequences of events that just happened, and but you got to stick to the plan. You got to stay together, and our guys did that. And then to be able to close it out was awesome for us. Obviously, a lot of things obviously we got to clean up on really all three phases. We got to protect the ball better in the kicking game for sure. So we'll definitely review that, and be great. We need to be able to convert in the black zone, the low red zone on offense. So, but it's great to be able to close it out. It was a great drive at the end by our offense. We nominated Dicko as the honorary player of the game for not being available, for us having to go for it on fourth down. But in all seriousness, I mean, do want to just officially. I don't know how this works, but if we can nominate Leonard Williams for Player of the Week, he's just playing at an all-time elite level, and to have a pick six.
Yep, all that stuff, fantastic. Before we go to break, Jets lose 44-38. The Steelers over the Bengals. This was a wild one. Russell Wilson, 414 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. Joey Burrow on the other side, 3 touchdowns and an interception as well. Only 309 yards, but in the end, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers getting it done, and clinched another winning season once again for Mike Tomlin. There was we'll get to this one highlight from George Pickens. This tied it at 7.
Harris has the majority of the yards for the team so far. Pickens, catch, run, slips out of there, touchdown!
Yes, it was. He did have did he have more than one touchdown in that game? I think he had 74 yards and a touchdown, but also, again, acting very immature, getting penalized and had to be escorted out. And after the game, Mike Tomlin addressed the situation. Where's the cut? Here it is, about George Pickens.
Mike, I know you talked to him, but what can you do to kind of limit what's going on with George with those unsportsmanlike?
You know, he just got to grow up, man. It's an emotional game, man. These divisional games are big. He got a target on his back because he's George. He understands that. But he's got to grow up. He's got to grow up in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, he was escorted out of the game last week for throwing a face. He's got to be better than that. Absolutely got to be better than that. The Steelers win 44-38. So, by the way, just looking at the NFL right now, and if the playoffs started today, now mind you, there's a game tonight with Denver and Cleveland going at it. But if the playoffs were to start today, the Chiefs would be number one. Still the number one seed. We'll get to that unbelievable game that happened on Friday on Amazon, and they hung on once again to beat the Raiders. In another one-score game for them. The Bills would be the 2 seed. They would host Denver right now. That'd be the 2-7 matchup. The 6-3 matchup would be Baltimore at Pittsburgh. That would be for the third time. And then the Chargers at Houston in the 5-4 matchup. Over in the NFC, if the playoffs started today, the Lions still the number one seed. The Commanders at the Eagles would be the 7-2 matchup. The 6-3 matchup would be Green Bay at Seattle. And the 5-4 matchup would be the Vikings, who squeaked out a win yesterday over Arizona. 23-22. The Vikings would be at the Falcons. So some good stuff there as well. Let me see. What else do I want to play? Oh, and let's just go. I want to scroll down, Angel. Let me see. This might be a little bit. Let me see. Scroll down to it's. Oh, yeah. I want to play this stuff from Awful announcing. This is the end of the Bears-Lions game on Thanksgiving Day. Unbelievable play. Unbelievable no play at the end, or was a play, but it was pathetic. Situational football, play calling, whatever you want. Let's start with this, in case you missed it or didn't see it on Thursday.
To go in overtime. There's no question. That timeout is going to happen at 32 seconds. Yeah. The next play is going to take somewhere between 5 and 7 seconds.
Actually,
you're going to have 25 seconds to run your
pause that. And I want you to go to the one below it.
All right.
One below it. That's what I want to play. Then we'll play the one above it.
Well, this is supposed to be a quarterback draw. They have a light box.
Clock is running with 15 seconds, and it's 3rd and 26. They have one timeout left.
This is like the light box. You could have gotten numbers, but just didn't.
You better hurry.
Oh, no.
Oh, this is disaster in the making here. You're going to have to do something when it comes down to this play. Incomplete, and the game is over. Completely botched at the end by the Bears.
I can't believe they didn't take a timeout. You just assume.
Now let's go, Angel. Let's actually go right below it. Matt Eberflus after the game. Here's the video about how he thinks he handled it correctly.
Oh, that should be interesting.
You know, and then we're there at 2nd and 20. You know, take the sack right there. And, you know, so we're at 36 seconds right there. And our hope was, because it was 3rd going into 4th, that we would re-rack that play at 18 seconds, throw it in bounds, get it into the field goal range, and then call the timeout. And that's where it was, and that was our decision-making process on that. Again, we were outside the field goal range, you know, so we needed to get a few more yards in there, as close as we can get, and then we were going to call timeout, and that's why we held that last timeout at the end of the game. So, like I said, disappointing for the players. They put a lot of work in a short week and put themselves in position to win that game. So with that, I'll take questions.
The end when you saw the clock.
And then we're there.
All right. I mean, it's just one of the worst coaching decisions I've ever seen in situational football in my life. We'll get to that and a lot more. Jay Flanley going to join me in a second. Angel, let's just take a quick break. The local ones were just our good spots. Our sponsors, let's do that real quick, and then we'll come back. Jay Flanley joining me from Ann Arbor. We have so much to talk about in college football and the NFL. It was an unbelievable weekend. Jay, you mute your microphone for a second while we go to break here, and then we'll be back in a couple minutes here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? Jimmy the Beef Guy here. Fort Myers, we answered your call. We're pumped to announce the opening of our second location. It's on 41 just north of the Edison Mall. And guys, nothing's changed here. The beef, the sausage, the breaded steak, our Maxwell Polish. Now serving you in 2 locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. And don't forget, if you're having a party, check out our catering menu. Hey guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced Jardiniere.
Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Massachusetts, is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Last month, you might remember Tim Thomas, legendary Bruins goalie, returned on October 5th. What a turnout it was. And now a new event coming up. On Saturday, November 30th, it's Willie O'Ree. Yes, the original Jackie Robinson of the National Hockey League. He'll be signing autographs to the public, $25 each. There'll be photos, pucks, and cards available. Phone orders are welcome. Just call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there. Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Ion Tampa Bay is the latest news, weather, and traffic for Pinellas, Pasco, Ellsboro, Hernando, and surrounding communities. Stay connected on X, Facebook, and their website, iontp.com. Ion Tampa Bay keeps you informed on breaking news as it happens. Southwest Florida's newest game in town. Sports Radio 102.9, the game powered by Ion Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
For the best in college football and NFL talk, check out The Pete Sheppard Show. 7 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday.
The top of your screen. 4th down and 9. Do or die for Ohio State. Howard in trouble. Incomplete. Ohio State turns it over on down. And the Michigan Wolverines will shock the college football world.
Thanks, Gus. I used to like Gus Johnson a lot. But Gus Johnson treats every play like it's a Hail Mary at the end. Now, that was an acceptable emotional call at the end. But, my God, during first down! Okay, it's the first quarter. It was 2nd and inches. Okay. Every call is not a Hail Mary, Gus. Tone it down just a little bit. All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Pete Sheppard Show here on this December 2nd, this Monday. And we welcome, in case you missed it, because the mic might have been too loud. Here it is again.
4th down and 9. Do or die for Ohio State. Howard in trouble. Incomplete. Ohio State turns it over on downs. And the Michigan Wolverines will shock the college football world.
No. No, and no. Didn't shock me one bit, and I know it didn't shock Jay Flannelly, who's up in Ann Arbor from Beesville. Jay, good morning. I know you're usually on with me on Tuesdays, but this was a special day. Had to have you on today after that. How you doing? Did it move? How many times did it move, as we say in Seinfeld, during the game for you? Many?
Yeah, like one of the funnier parts of this is with all the guys graduating last year, I have way less guys on the team. But two of my guys, one of them's the captain, Max Bredesen, 44, the fullback. But the guy who completely changed the game, Tommy Dolman, our punter with the 68-yard punt.
Yep.
And then Howard Will, that's his name, threw the interception, and we scored the touchdown on like the second play after that. So homegrown, no hype guys, complete opposite of their team, which is a bunch of loudmouth, five-star idiots. Those two defensive ends who were missing milk cartons. I know Sawyer got that interception, and then he's mouthing off after the game, and Mason Graham put him in his place. But it's just awesome. It's a great win, and it's and by the way, Sawyer has a baby coming. Oh for Sawyer. 0 for 4.
Okay.
0 for 4.
Look, I'm not in all these rivalry games. The only one I felt like was going to be dominated on Friday and Saturday. The only one I really didn't think a team had a chance was Florida State. I thought Florida would go in and dominate. Yeah. They did, but that's
good job by Billy Napier.
Amazing. Yeah, but I want to really focus on this Michigan-Ohio State game.
We should.
This is where it frustrates me as a Miami Hurricane guy, because.
Hey, Pete, I'm sorry about McCord.
I look at all these teams. I look at Michigan, I look at Ohio State, and I look at the Georgias and the Alabamas, and I'm telling you that none of those teams